Welcome to our special on the death of small business in America. Small businesses are responsible for the bulk of jobs in this country. 70% of the jobs are created by small businesses, and yet you never, ever hear anyone talk about them on television. Oh, you might see them on a business network here and there, but you most likely, if you're working in America, work for a small business. And the small businesses, I could say, are dying. I think they're being killed. Here now, our Wall Street Journal senior economic writer, Stephen Moore. Danny Babshe is a frequent guest of Your Questions, Your Money, a live call-in show on the Fox Business Network, and Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Stephen, let me start with you. You call something the triangle of evil.
Right.
What is it?
Well, you've got three major pieces of legislation coming down the pike that we've been talking about. Health care, the cap-and-trade bill, and this union card check issue, and the victims of those are all small businesses. And, you know, let's take health care for a minute. How are they going to fund that $1 trillion bill, Glenn? Payroll taxes on small businesses as high as 8% on every small business here. And then they're going to raise the income tax 5 percentage points on, quote, the rich. Now, the people who are rich, 70% of those people are small business owners and operators. Right. Now, you ask the question, why don't these members of Congress get it? Why doesn't Nancy Pelosi get it? Why doesn't Barack Obama get it? Because they've never run a business. They have no idea what it means to make a payroll. I mean, they are lawyers and community organizers. So that they really believe, folks, that members who run small businesses are like ATM machines. You just pluck dollars out of them.
Because that's the way they run their business. They do. Right. They just pluck it off out of the basement, off of a machine. Mike.
See, I don't believe a lot of people realize what small businesses do in order to make it. I mean, we have to mortgage our houses. We have to go to loans from family and friends. When money doesn't come in, we're the last people to get paid. So a lot of people never really appreciate what we do. Yeah, at the end of the year, we may make a little more money, but what about when we don't have the cash flow? We are by far the last people to get paid. It's our children, the last people to be taken care of. Everyone else gets taken care of first.
The number one question that my partner John Rutledge and I take on the weekend show, entrepreneurs calling in for 2 hours asking questions. Number one is, how do I get money in this economy, in this market? Why are the banks turning me down? Why is the Small Business Administration not backing loans that they said that they would back? And why, if they will, are banks unwilling to do the loan, even if they put up their personal collateral? That's the number one question.
By the way, I have an answer to that. When the federal government is borrowing $2 trillion, it's hard for small businesses to get credit.
But Stephen, explain something to me, because I had one of my financial advisors explain this to us. He's a guy who's been in global finance for a long time, and he said that here's where the economy was, and then we've been bailing out all of this money. We're about here now. This is where it should be, right? Let's say just housing, okay? So we've bailed out and filled this space, all of this space, with the cash that we've borrowed, okay? Right? Now, it still has all of this space to go, and that's if it just goes to historic norms. It's most likely going to go someplace down here. So we have to come up with all of that cash. He told me the reason why the banks don't loan to people is because, and I barely understood it, and you'd be the guy to explain it. The way the interest rate they're charging right now, they're making the money here, and they're trying to make it over a long period of time to cover all of this money. Does that make sense to you? Can you explain it?
Who wants to lend money to businesses when there's no consumers out there who want to consume the stuff? I mean, my God, Glenn, that $800 billion stimulus bill in it, there was more money for the National Endowment for the Arts than there was for small businesses. I mean, this is craziness.
Well, you know, the government is run by people who have a couple of attitudes that probably no one in this room shares. One of them is government knows best. And the other is...
Does anybody believe that?
No. Well, of course not. I mean,
they do in Washington.
They do in Washington. I mean, there are so many historic and contemporary examples of that. The government runs Social Security, bankrupt. Medicare, bankrupt. Medicaid, bankrupt. The Post Office, bankrupt. Amtrak, bankrupt. Now, of course, they want to start running the healthcare system, and it'll be bankrupt, too.
Okay.
So that's the first mentality, that government knows best. The second mentality is if we can do something to make you feel better in the short run, even if we take your freedom of choice away, the vast numbers of people will give us what we want more than anything else. Re-election.
Okay, I'm going to take a break here, and you brought up the post office. The post office had a problem with efficiency. People were standing in line too long. You know what their solution was? Take the clock off the wall. I'm not kidding you, that's true. How many of us would be in business if we did that to our consumers? The other thing, when we come back, Congress and the White House, I know, watch this program every day. These people are going to give the White House and Congress an earful, what they need to hear.